Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another one of our talent spotlights. We've been very lucky to talk with several members of KION, and we continue these great conversations with Lori here. So I'm going to have Lori tell a little bit about KION first, and then we will have her tell a little bit about her story. KION's located in Dorchester County, for anyone that might not be familiar. And I will let her take it from here. So thank you so much for participating today and joining the conversation.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. KION has been in the Somerville area for many years. It started out as another company, Baker Lindy. I can remember when they were building these buildings, and the town was a little bit smaller because they've been here for 30-something years. And since it was bought by KION and going under the KION name, and I worked here for Lynn, so I ended up coming back in 17, and the growth that the company had already undergone through that time was pretty amazing. They make forklifts for, I believe this is the only manufacturing plant in the United States for KION. We have dealers throughout the states and around the world, and they are very transparent about where they want to go and how they want to grow, and I'm seeing it happen daily. They're expanding tremendously. We've got different locations and warehouses coming up, and they're bringing some of the bigger manufacturing here, and we make some great forklift trucks.
Wonderful, thank you. I tell you, there's definitely an exuberance when everyone talks about KION, about working there, and I love to hear that we can share that. So you talked a little bit about KION. Can you tell me a little bit about your role as an inventory control analyst or specialist, your role there?
Well, I as an analyst part of it, I do a lot of reports. I do a lot of checking on the flow of transactions and stuff and making sure they all go through. I do a lot of troubleshooting. When we may have some issues that come up, or we have some inaccuracies in inventory, and I investigate that and correct that. I work with planning, and we get out production orders. We deliver them and get assemblies made and close them out. I do a lot of production order closing, and I just that's about it. Working on reports and keeping things cleaned up, I guess.
No, that's a great description. I think sometimes I always like to ask for those details, because when people hear manufacturing, sometimes they may only think that it's line work or warehouse work, and there's just so many different layers of opportunity when working for a company like KION. So I appreciate that. So we talked about KION, we talked about your position. How about how you ended up in Charleston and decided to stay and grow your career and your family here?
Right. My father was military, and we came here in 74. At the time, it was a kind of a small one-horse town. And it like really a McDonald's and a Shoney's was all Somerville had to offer. And he retired here. And as an adult, I just stayed. I mean, there's a lot to offer here in Charleston. I mean, there's a lot of people who come here and love it. But the saying is, there's endless things to do here. You have the coast, a third of the state is the coast. You have rivers, you have lakes, you have the mountains, 2 hours up the road in North Carolina, and it's just, there's so many things around. Florida's, hop, skip, and a jump down, and there's just so much to do here. And of course, my family's here too. I have 2 children, and they're here now, living in Charleston as well. My son being Air Force, he's stationed here, and it's just somewhere that I've just really never cared to go anywhere else. I've been around. I mean, being Navy, of course, I'd lived all over. But as an adult, there's just nowhere that I care to be.
Wow, well, that's great. It's always a good tagline. Nowhere else I'd rather be. I'm with you. I'm from an Air Force family as well. So Well, thank you to your son's service and your father's. So
Right.
well, you touched on it a lot, but if there's anything else that you kind of want to talk about the current why Charleston and the benefits of working, at KION or in just the region as a whole.
Well, Charleston is growing leaps and bounds. And again, with this company, there's plethora amount of opportunity to move up in this company. I mean, we're opening other warehouses nearby. If you're in warehousing, and they're constantly improving, they're constantly growing. Then of course, the more people you get, the more opportunity to go up in the leadership area as well.
You talked about KION already and the growth there. And so I think now we can maybe go back to talking about any passions that you might have outside of the office, or any favorite spots in Charleston with your family, or anything you like to do in Somerville, or
Well, again, I like getting with friends and my family, my children. We get together with the girlfriends and we like to go to some of these, a lot of locally owned shops, a lot of historic areas in Somerville and in Charleston. My husband and I used to ride motorcycles, and they have a lot of the A-bait runs and the toy runs and the poker runs. So there are a lot of that kind of fun things going on as well. But I think there's something for anybody here, that if you like to get whatever you like to get into, like you to do, there'll be that type of activity here in Charleston.
Appreciate you taking the time, Lori. I want to let everybody know that's watching that there is job opportunities right now with KION, and that you can visit the website to learn more and reach out to us if you do have any questions about KION or working there. We'd love to talk with you. And once again, Lori, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, and I really appreciate it, and I enjoyed talking.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes, it is a great place to work, and it's a great town. Come on down.